Hello everyone and welcome back to QuestBlue Academy. My name is Alex and today I'm going to do a quick video tutorial on how to create an IVR in our new QuBe PBX system. We'll get started first with a brief overview of what an IVR is and how they're used. So an IVR is an interactive voice response menu which allows you as a caller to interact with your telephone system via the telephone keypad. So the IVR module is used to set up a menu system that will play an initial recording to callers and allow them to dial an option or an extension number and route their call to a particular location based upon what they dial. More than likely, you've experienced an IVR without even realizing it, and I always like to use the example of a dealership. So when you call the dealership and you have a car in the body shop, you're likely to get a menu first that will route your call to the body shop. So you'll get a recording that says, "Thank you for calling, press 1 for sales, press 2 for service, press 3 for body shop." And in this situation, you're going to press 3 for the body shop. That is what an IVR is, and I'm going to teach you today how to create one on the QuBe PBX system. So here you see me at the admin dashboard. If you navigate to functions and then IVR, in the top right, you'll see a blue button to create an IVR. And the first thing you want to do is give it a name. I'm going to call mine main IVR and give it a description of main line so that I know that this is the main IVR and the main line that we use is going to route calls to this IVR. The next option, allow direct dial, that deals with the situation where you already know that you want the body shop. Do you really have to listen to the message in its entirety before you can press 3? This is what allows you to do that. So I'm going to choose yes and allow users to directly dial option 3 or option 2 if they already know where they want to go. Now the IVR extension, you can give it a number that internal users can use. So if you have employees at the dealership that would like to call into the IVR, say from sales and get to the body shop, they can dial in to that number, give the correct response, which in this example would be 3, and they'd get right over to the body shop. In the announcement, I've already created a main IVR announcement. That is the announcement that the end user is going to hear. So thank you for calling, press 1 for support. That's the announcement that I've created for this test, and I'm going to select that one in this option. Now the next 3 options deal with what happens when the user makes an error. So you have timeout, you have timeout digits, and you have invalid retries. Now what that means is a timeout is given in seconds. So the default is 10 seconds. If a user does not make a selection in 10 seconds, you get to decide what happens to that call. Timeout digits is when the user, say you have an extension 11, 12, 13, any 2-digit number, if you press one of them, it's going to give you 5 seconds to enter the second digit before it times out. And the invalid retries is, let's say you dial 9 and there's no option for 9. There's a 1, there's a 2, and there's a 3, and the person accidentally hits 4 or 5. That's what that is. So you also get to select some options around those 3 items. And below that, you'll see the invalid retry recording. By default, there is a recording that will play back to the user, but you can customize that to suit whatever needs that you have. It's essentially once they enter an invalid response, the end user will hear a recording that you select. By default, I think it says something to the nature of, "You've entered the wrong extension, please try again," something like that. Now, below that is where you can choose whether or not you send the person back to the IVR. So right here, I'm going to select yes, and what that's going to do is when the user selects an invalid entry, I'm going to play back to them the main IVR recording and give them another chance to choose the correct selection. Below that, you'll see an option for invalid recording and invalid destination. So what that is the invalid recording is the recording that's going to be played back to the user when the invalid entries has exceeded. So if they've entered an incorrect answer multiple times, you can have a recording played back to the user, and below there is where you will see the invalid destination. That's where you can send them to, let's say, for example, a voicemail. If you put in an invalid entry too many times, I'm just going to, for the sake of this test, send you to a voicemail. Now below that, you'll see the timeout retries and another number. That's the number of timeouts that you're allowed to have before the call gets routed to somewhere else. And above, you've already set your timeout as 10 seconds. So we're going to I'm going to do one for the sake of this video. And what that's going to do is, if you time out after 10 seconds, I'm going to send your call the same way we did earlier to a destination here of a voicemail. And again, that's something that's optional, and you can change it to 2 timeout retries where they hear the timeout recording once and then it plays again after another 10 seconds. These are all options that you can play with and customize them to your needs. Now below there, you'll see where you can actually choose your IVR entries. So I'm going to press 1, I'm going to choose ring groups, and I'm going to choose sales. And this is the option that the user will hear. Option 1 is going to go to sales, and below option 2, I'm going to send to support. And once I submit, my IVR is now successfully created. And just to double check, we have an icon over here under Visualize where you can actually see the call flow that you've just created. So as you can see, the main IVR here, once the call gets to the IVR, digit 1 is going to send someone to the ring group 700 sales, and digit 2 is going to send someone to the ring group 600 for support. Now I'll give you an idea of how you can use your IVR with a test number that I've got created inside of my inbound routes. You can see here I've just named this name Alex, and I have an incoming number, and I'm going to edit this inbound route and place the destination of this inbound route to the IVR 800 that I've just created. Now once I submit that, that's going to save. So now when an end user calls my incoming number, they're going to go to the main IVR 800. They're going to hear my recording, and they'll have an option to press 1 for sales and 2 for support. So that does it today for our video tutorial on IVRs. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more videos from QuestBlue Academy.